This is one of our window wall samples that we would typically bring into your home to give you an in-home design consultation. We've had to scale it down, of course, in order to get it through the door onto your table. But normally, this would be an 8-foot high wall from bottom to top on your home. This is the solid knee wall option, and that typically is about 1.5 to 2 feet from top to bottom. You also do have the option of doing tempered glass knee walls as well. And that seems to be a lot more popular than solid these days, bringing more of the outdoors indoors. Window sizes vary from side to side quite a bit. We do have some standard modular sizes, so typically it's either 3, 4, or even 6 feet wide across here, and 4 to 5 foot tall here. This is our sliding window option in our patio rooms. Of course, dual cam locks here for security, top and bottom. Slide this open from side to side. Of course, it has screen in the background for insects. This is the dual sliding window options. Both panels will definitely slide from side to side. You're still only going to get 50% ventilation because only half of it opens. I highly recommend, unless you're on an upper deck, to get the single sliding, because less moving parts, they seal better. Now I'm just going to lock this again. Our dual sliding windows, when they're locked, you can see there's a little bit of movement here. They do not have the locking rail here or here as you would on our single sliding. So that feature is a little nicer, I think, to have that extra security. Even though it's with cam locks and the lock at the rail, it's very hard to take a screwdriver or pry bar anywhere, break in. So this seemed to seal a little bit better. So if you want to break in, screwdriver's not going to work. I guess there's a hammer. Of course. Tempered safety glass on all of our windows, so would not try that on your windows at home. This is a vinyl room, although all rooms, whether it be vinyl or aluminum, has to have aluminum for the substructure. So it's aluminum here, all the way through, vinyl on the outside, inside. This is the thermal extruded vinyl room. This dark area you see here is what's called a thermal break, separating the outside from the inside. Very important if you're going to heat and cool this room to have it thermally extruded, because without it, once the cold comes in and hits the warmth of the metal, it's going to sweat and condensate. You necessarily won't see it on our vinyl rooms because it's covered up, but it will condensate, and sooner or later you're going to see mold and mildew form on that. I'll just turn it around here, and you'll notice there is no thermal break on this extrusion, just to show you our options here. So without it, cold comes in and hits the warmth of the aluminum, it's going to sweat and condensate, guaranteed. So if it's just a 3 seasons room, you can get by with just the non-thermally extruded vinyl rooms or non-thermally extruded aluminum rooms. But we do offer both. You'll see no exposed fasteners on most of our vinyl rooms and virtually all of our aluminum rooms except for our 2-inch. So you won't see tech screws all over the place. That's more or less in our lower end products. Better to have a cleaner finish. This is a cross section or cut off piece of the solid knee wall here. We've done that to show you what is actually inside of the solid option. Polystyrene is used a lot in the knee walls and the roof of the room itself. In a few minutes we'll demonstrate the material options you have for solid. Aluminum substructure again with the thermal break. Definitely required if you're going to heat and cool this room versus the other option. The aluminum substructure again with no thermal breaks. Less money to manufacture it this way without the thermal break here. although it will sweat and condensate if you do heat and cool that space. So we do offer both options in our vinyl rooms and our aluminum rooms, but highly recommend the thermal extrusion for the aluminum. Window options vary a little different for solarium conservatory. Most ventilating windows are on the end walls or the shorter walls of the room. You can do the sliding windows and ventilating windows in the front wall too, or the long wall. Seems to be more popular in solariums is not having these bars, vertical bars every foot or 2 or 3 feet. Kind of cuts down on your viewing of the exterior. So there's nothing wrong with having fixed windows from top to bottom, giving you maximum view of the outdoors. If you don't like the looks of the sliding windows or just windows that open in the front wall as that option. But we do offer both, but it seems to be more popular having less framing and more glass, at least in the front wall. But that is an option you might want to consider. Vinyl rooms, white or beige, are your 2 colors, or a tan color. Not quite as many choices as you would have if it was an aluminum room.